Hello guys, and welcome to this EC Aquatics video. So it's been several months now since I completely redid my pond's waterfall and put in a new pond pump. This pump is made by Hygger, and now that it's been running for a couple months, I wanted to give you all my full review of the pump, see how it's held up, how it works, and what I think of it comparatively to other pumps. So as you can see in here, it has not broken yet in the 2 months, which is wonderful. I have had pumps break within, 2 or 3 months before, which is not the greatest, but I think this pump is really good and great. Full disclosure though, Hygger did send me this pump for free, but they have agreed to let me review this thing honestly and give my honest opinion and not say any. They did not provide me a script for this video or anything like that. All these thoughts are completely my own on this pump. They just sent me this pump for free to try and have people, test it out and see how it works. But I think this pump is wonderful. I think it's really good, and I would suggest buying it. But let's take a look at some of the, how to set it up and some of the key features of this pump before let's actually take a look and see what is actually inside this thing. So our little manual and stuff like that. Got the actual pump itself, which is beefy. It's nice. It's 1,350 gallons per hour, if anyone was wondering. It's a big, beefy, awesome looking pump. Looks like we've got a remote control of some kind. I'm not sure quite what it does, but I will figure that out. We've got some kind of charging block, plug thingy. Interesting. And looks like a bunch of adapters as well for different types of pond tubing. And then some more wire. Sweet. So I'm going to now rig this whole thing up. Okay, so it looks like what I do is I take one of these little thingies and it'll lock into place like this, and then I screw it on to the top little washer thingy that goes in, make this thing watertight, and then I will place that on and screw this thing all the way on, and that should now connect to our pipe that goes to the waterfall. Alrighty, and we're going to now do the same thing to our connector that we're going to hook into our skimmer. I've got the washer already attached there. We're going to take our tubing and our little ring to hold it in place and screw this thing all the way on. Just like that. Now we're over here by our skimmer, taking it out of the pond for now, and we're gonna connect it to our pump before we add it into the pond. So now we're gonna connect this pump to our waterfall intake. This cord stuff is all a little bit weird. So it looks like we've got this little control box that controls how fast our pump is running, and this looks like hooks up here to the connector from our pump itself, and then we take this thingy and screw that on, sort of like that. And then there's a little other part here that we take our little computer power bank thingy, hook it up like that, and this power bank gets connected to the actual plug, which hooks in like that, and this then connects into the wall. So I think what's got to be my favorite part about this pump is this right here, this little control panel. And this allows you to do, several things. It allows you to actually pause the waterfall for feeding, and as you can see, waterfall turns right off, and it stays off for about 10 minutes. So this way, your pond becomes still when you feed, and your food doesn't get sucked into, the skimmer or the filter or whatever you're using. It doesn't get blown around. So in this way, you're able to feed your fish. And then when you're done, you can come right over here and you hit that pause button again, and it turns right on and it goes again. So just like that, you fed your fish, and now the pump is on. And the previous couple of pumps that I had on this waterfall did not have, and I think this is the only pump that actually has a feed button. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the only one that I've seen that has a feed button. And another thing that I really like about this pump is the fact that you can adjust the water flow. You know, I have it on full, but I can adjust it all the way down to 30% of its power. You know, this pump is 1,350 gallons per hour. And, you know, if you really don't want it nearly as strong, you can turn it down to 30% of its power. You can see how less strong the flow rate is. And then, you know, you can come over here and raise it up. Maybe you want it at 50% of its power, and you can see it's a little bit stronger, or up to, you know, 75% of its power, which again is a little bit stronger. Or you can get it all the way up to, you know, 100% of its power. And that, I think, is wonderful, because this pump, and you can adapt it to many different sized ponds. You don't want as much noise, you can turn down the intensity, or if you want it, you know, really powerful pump, you have it on all the way, which I think is wonderful. And I don't think many other pumps have that adjustable flow rate, and especially not outside of the water in its own control panel, which I think is a really unique and awesome feature that this pump has. So as well, I also like all the different adapters that it comes with. You know, you can hook it on to lots of different tubing. This right here is 1-inch tubing that runs up to the waterfall itself, and the thing that connects it to the skimmer is 1.5-inch tubing. And I think it also connects to 1.25 inch and 3/4 inch and maybe even 1/2-inch tubing, which is awesome. And you can see the pump, you know, in comparison to my hand, it's not that big, and it's, you know, it hides pretty well. The actual base color is gray, but it's, you know, gotten covered in algae like everything does in this pond. I don't think it stands out that much, and it'll be really easy, you know, to hide or to put in a little, you know, an outcropping or something like that if you don't want to see it within your pond itself. My one little gripe with this, over here when you're setting it up, you know, it comes in 3 parts. So, you know, it has this part that you've got to hook in, and then it's got this part that you connect, and this little block, like almost computer charger, that you have to hook in. And that's my only complaint, is that I wish they had streamlined this into one cord instead of sending it in 3 or 4 different parts, and, you know, having to really assemble this thing like an electrician almost. That's my only complaint with this thing. Other than that, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful pump. And cost-wise, you know, it compares to everything else that I see on the market. Just for reference, here's the prices for the different versions of the pump. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video of me reviewing this little pump. I think it's a great pump, and I would strongly recommend you guys buy it. And that's not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I genuinely think this is a wonderful, wonderful pump. I think it's a great addition to any pond, and it's the fact that you can adjust it, its adjustability is great. So thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you all in the next one.